Hello, this is business strategy in lockdown number 5. It's the last of a series explaining the Zetetic Language Model. So why listen to this? This work has been developed to develop business value, to develop sustainable value, to clarify your thinking and transform your performance if you're running a business. So that's why this work has been developed. But we start on a personal journey. We do eventually come to the business journey, but it's more fruitful for you to start on the personal journey. So this is the model that we've been talking about, vertical and horizontal. Just to reprise the model, I asked you in the beginning to think about yourself and to think about 3 things that you enjoy doing. And then we abstracted them. We got a sense of your vision. We took that vision into your backstory, and in your backstory we found your purpose and a set of values. So we found your purpose and a set of values. So now we have your vision, your purpose and your values from your backstory. What we want to do now is take that backstory, sponsor it if you like, and project it into the future. And in the model, what we're now doing is we're talking about this horizontal bit. So we're looking about how to project your backstory into the future. And I'm going to give you an example. So in my life, in my backstory, I went to 2 denominational schools for 13 years, which were very disciplined in their approach to education. I was told to sit still, be quiet, put my hand up, stand up, kneel down and wait for the bell. And this particular story went on for 13 years. So it might be no surprise to you that I experienced some sense of restriction. So if you like, in the backstory, the shadow side of my purpose is this sense of restriction. I was therefore fairly committed to this idea of freedom. And I've explored my life from that perspective. In the beginning, that involved rebelliousness against authority and things like that. And then it later developed into other areas. So I was very interested in freedom of movement. So I found myself interested in dance. And if you look at Cuban salsa, it's a very free form kind of social dance. I found that very attractive. I was also interested in exploring my relationship with the mind, and that, for example, might take me, hasn't yet, but it might take me to an ashram for 5 years to discover, who am I and what is my relationship with this thing called the mind. So, but both of these things fall within the context of freedom as far as I'm concerned. Now, if you take a business, we can do the same sort of thing. So you're in a business, let's say, for example, it's an engineering business, but it could be a supermarket business, it might be a hospital business, it could be any kind of business. You take 3 things that you like doing, talking to people, selling them things, whatever it is, and you abstract those 3 things upwards. You get a sense of your vision. You go into the business's backstory. When did it start? Who started it? Why did they start it? What was it that they were setting out to do? And that information will show you the problem that they were addressing or the predicament that they were addressing for the business. So let's say it's in engineering and they discovered that there weren't very many beautiful pieces of kit in the area that they were working in, and they decided that their future story was going to be about beauty. So it's an engineering business that's decided its future story is going to be about beauty. Then the strategy bit, which is how to, is them deciding on how they are going to deliver that beauty. How they're going to deliver that beauty. And once they know how they're going to deliver that beauty, then the specific objectives, which is the vertical moving south will automatically fall out of the equation. Now, this is a bit like the reverse of doing things for a lot of people when they come to look at something like strategy. But it's going to give you what, on an individual level, what your body is committed to, and therefore it won't need a great deal of motivation. I don't need a lot of help deciding how I'm going to go about Cuban salsa or how I'm going to go about going to India, if those were the things I decided to do, because I'm very interested in them, because they fit within my overall future story of freedom. The same be for a business. You know, you won't need to decide. There will be strategic options that the business faces in order to deliver this beauty. But at the end of the day, they've got to choose one. And this really is worth bearing in mind. If you're planning on going, I can't be in Cuba and India at the same time. A business can't be in strategic option A, B, C and D at the same time. It has to assess the risk and make the bet and decide how it's going to deliver its overall future story. This is very rewarding work. It saves a lot of time because you don't get these background value issues occurring later down the line in the decision-making process. I hope you've enjoyed this series. My tip for today is, if you're faced with strategic options, choose one. Thank you.